Hey everybody, off the Mike Sports Network here, another edition of Off the Top Rope. We need to have a big picture discussion about a potentially serious situation that was narrowly avoided on Dynamite on Wednesday, the March 28th edition. This was a botch filled show. There's no other way around it. You had two broken noses in one match, botches all over the place. Outside of the first 20 minutes, this show was like honestly one of the worst dynamites of the year, especially when you're following up one of your better pay-per-views. And this is one of my big critiques of this company is this they bank so much on pay-per-view, they don't book week to week television very well. But there was a match that was thrown together at the last minute, stemming off of what happened on Collision the prior week and then also at the pay-per-view. Kyle Fletcher took on Adam Cole in a TNT championship match, really on like no notice. And they do this match. There's a spot near the apron where they do the old apron power bomb, and Kyle Fletcher proceeds to throw Adam Cole. And it looked like he maybe even grazed the apron or not, but it was scary because he nearly had his head decapitated or potentially suffered another serious concussion, which he's had serious issues with um in his career. And he's had a lot of injury issues since he got to AEW 4 years ago. We're about to hit the 4-year anniversary in August or early September when he showed up in that probably one of the greatest moments in AEW history. I mean, considering that, they don't want to forget that, CM Punk was ever there. He ever showed up. So him and Bryan Danielson showing up in the span of 5 minutes at All Out 2021 is probably one of the great moments in the history of this company. And since he showed up, all that Adam Cole has to show to his name is he won the first ever Owen Hart Cup tournament, which meant nothing. And, he now holds the TNT title. And if we're, if we're keeping score at home here, Kyle Fletcher is beating Adam Cole for the TNT championship at some point. Whether it's all in, whatever, if it's before that or whatever, however we're going to get there, that's what's happening here. Kyle Fletcher is going to win that championship because if not, what the fuck are we doing? And this just illustrates how far the stock of Adam Cole has fallen. I still think the world of this guy. I think he's one of the most talented professional wrestlers, a little bit undersized, but when he can cook on the microphone, when he can cook in the ring, when he's fully healthy, he's as good as anybody in this industry. And it's unfortunate because of, bad luck, bad situations, and now really terrible booking from Tony Khan since he got back because the MJF feud was a disaster. He gets saddled in this nothing feud with Daniel Garcia, where he beats Daniel Garcia in the most anticlimactic way possible. And now he's pretty much just window dressing and just, doing commentary bits. And then he's in a random 6-person tag that gets thrown together at the last minute. He's in this TNT championship match where everybody thinks Kyle Fletcher's going to win. They run a DQ finish to get out of it. And Adam Cole almost gets injured again. And you think about where this guy was 4 years ago. I was ready to think that this guy might be the next Shawn Michaels and was ready to, make a big leap onto the main roster in WWE. And yes, there was reports that Vince McMahon really saw him as a manager and wanted him to shave his head and manage Keith Lee. I don't know what truth there is to that. And some of this is just bad timing. Some of this is just bad luck. But now you've got a fully healthy Adam Cole who's finally, and, obviously he went to AEW. Part of it was because of his relationship with Britt Baker. Britt Baker seems like she's on the way out the door. They've since broken up. I mean, we'll leave that out of this. But from a wrestling perspective, man, the fall of Adam Cole is going to need to be studied because seriously, this guy is universally beloved in the community, and just he had concussion issues, he had the ankle issue. Like he was going to be the AEW World Champion at the end of 2023. He was going to be the one to end MJF. And then Grand Slam 2023, he jumps off a ramp and his ankle exploded. And so Samoa Joe had to slide into that. And it makes you wonder what would have happened if, some foolish accidents and some just bad luck had happened. And then here we are in another match where he's, this kind of underwhelming little run that he's had with the TNT championship. And he gets thrown into a match with Kyle Fletcher. And, some people are going to blame Kyle Fletcher, and he knows better. You take one step in this spot, but we got to stop doing apron power bombs, man. It's the hardest part of the ring. It's reckless, and it's just like, if you don't know how to do it the correct way, you shouldn't be doing it. It's just, too often so many things can go wrong, and that's what was illustrated really in this incident. But I was thinking about it after I watched this back, and I've just seen a lot of people interact on social media about this. It's like, man, what the fuck happened to Adam Cole? Like I said, some of this is not his fault. Like, he made a decision and he went the other way. He has friends. He's obviously friends with the Bucks. He's friends with Hangman. He's friends with Omega. Like, he's got relationships there. He did good business in WWE, and he saw an opportunity to get out there because he knew that probably he wasn't going to have a future on the main roster because Vince McMahon was in charge and Vince McMahon didn't see anything in him. But now you look at it and you're wondering, man, if only Adam Cole's peak and when he could have been called up to the main roster had happened about a year and a half later. Because Triple H would have known how the fuck to manage this guy. And I don't know how long he signed up in AEW, but if I'm Adam Cole, like, I want to get the fuck out of there. Because it's whether it's injuries, whether it's, inept booking or whatever. And this was a potentially serious situation where his career could have ended by accident. But again, it's just another example of just like, sometimes wrestling, this business is just like, it chews you up and it spits you out. And, a couple things there and a couple things there. And now Adam Cole's like so far down the totem pole. This TNT title run almost feels like a token of appreciation just for, sticking there with Tony Khan. But Tony Khan doesn't give a shit about him. Like, if Adam Cole had played his cards right, he'd be in the world championship picture. But he's not. Like, Swerve's now moved up there. Osprey's now come in. Like, Adam Cole's not thought of because the new flavors of the month have shown up in that company, and he's not thought of at the top of the food chain anymore. Like, this guy was fighting Adam Page 3 years ago when Hangman was the champion. A lot of people thought he should have won it. Like, this guy had one of the great NXT title runs of modern time. And it's just like I said, I thought that this guy was going to be destined for great things in WWE. And Vince McMahon didn't think much of him. Adam Cole saw an opportunity to go be with his friends, got a lucrative contract, and, he was destined for great things. And injuries kind of killed a lot of his momentum. But then you look at a situation like this, it's just like, man, another cautionary tale, man. It's just like, listen, I'm not blaming Adam Cole for the decision that he made, but I'm sure if he looks back on it, he probably wishes he stayed in WWE. Because look, here's another example of a guy who stuck around and, got kind of lucky with timing. LA Knight. Remember he was Max Dupree? That guy was going to get fired. And then Triple H took over because Vince McMahon was forced out, retired, got forced out of there. And look at LA Knight now. Yeah, maybe he should be getting pushed a lot better, but he's still one of the most over guys in the company. He wasn't saddled with a modeling gimmick. So, again, some of this is just bad luck. Some of this is poor timing. But then you watch this situation play out in front of your eyes and you're just like, holy shit, what the fuck happened to Adam Cole? So, it sucks, man. Like I said, I think this guy is really at his peak, one of the great professional wrestlers of the modern era. He really is. He is a bit undersized, I get it, but in terms of microphone ability, in terms of character, and in terms of what he delivers in the ring, he's as good as anybody. And it's just injuries and a lot of other shit just really, screwed up this guy's career from being maybe one of the all-time greats. And who knows, maybe at the end of his AEW run, he's able to go back to WWE. Triple H can invest in him and, maybe take him on a pathway. But, clock's ticking, man. Like, he's not getting any younger. And he's been really beat up the last several years. And now he's finally healthy. And look, you're in a random TNT title feud against Kyle Fletcher, and you almost have your career ended. It's like, what the fuck has the world come to, man? This guy deserves so much better. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.